Official time, 5 minutes late.
Better late than never.
Thank you, sir. We will call the Grant County Drainage Board to order August 13, noting 4 of 5 members present. Mr. Pinkerton is absent today. And we will start into the agenda. First item up, approval of minutes.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
Mr. Cox has made a motion to approve minutes as presented. Mr. Cates has seconded. Any discussion, question, comments, editorial changes?
Mary, you changed that. Yeah, change that one figure a little while.
Yeah, I caught that on the email conversation. Anything else? Hearing none, all those in favor of the minutes as presented would say aye.
Aye.
Aye, it is carried unanimously. Jim, if you will walk us through claims, please.
The first one's right-of-way management, $4,140 on Weasel Creek. There's $144,510 in the fund. John's Repair Service, this one wasn't added in to that other one that we did for the whole county. It goes into just a little bit of wells in Huntington County. But I went ahead and authorized, we want to keep it sprayed, so that's what that $4,140 is for. John's Repair Service, $6,337 on the Sweetser improvement drain. There's $82,477 in the fund. John's Repair, $34,650 on the Sweetser improvement. This is all work he had quoted out. And John's Repair, $1,487.70 on the Sweetser improvement. And then this was a reconstructed when I first became surveyor in about '82, and they didn't want maintenance at that time. So we're tackling all these erosion areas where the field's been gouged and putting dirt in the ditch. IMI stone, $287.19. IMI stone, $115.03. IMI, $286.22. IMI, $427.13. And IMI stone, $134.33. This is all riprap. Comes out at $82,477.
Where's that Sweetser improvement southeast, isn't it?
I don't know how it got that name. It's in the northeast part of the county.
Yeah.
Don't sound right.
Well, it actually comes out of the Sweetser Improvement and Enoch Lead Fund. We're actually on the Enoch Lead branch, but it's all part of the same maintenance.
Sweetser's west there.
I don't know, Cat. It's been that way forever.
Any questions, comments?
So we
On
got it, yeah, we got it in pretty good shape now.
Yeah, he's about done.
Do we have enough money in there to cover that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We got it.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Cates has made the motion to approve claims as presented. Second, Mr. Goff. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, it is carried. Old business, no updates on attorneys yet. Any other old business? Under new business, the New Rouge ditch, have a request for crossing maintenance. This is the, is it Zilka? Did I say that right?
Zilka, yes.
Jim, if you want to give us a little bit of information, and then we'll have,
They bought property that is landlocked. It's on the north side of Rude's Run on the Camblin Street. And the town does not accept Camblin Street or maintain it, apparently. David White went and looked at it, and he said it's not one of his roads. He doesn't maintain the crossing. So I went and looked at it. It's a steep, narrow crossing. The pipe looks good. It's just, it's narrow as far as, safety. The ends need shored up with either riprap and a slurry. I give him a copy of the code. The part on subsection B, do you have one of these, Mark?
Yes.
Subsection B says, when a private crossing has been lawfully established and maintained, the board may assess any part of the cost of its replacement against all affected lands. And up in A, it talks about maintenance of a regulated drain. There is no maintenance fund on this. The town board turned it down last time because we were waiting on them to tell us the rate they wanted to home sites, and they never got back with us on it. So there is no maintenance fund. Any replacement work would have to come out of the general drain improvement fund. That's at the discretion of the board. And only because it's landlocked does it put us into code 72
Okay.
on the Indiana Drainage Code. And it could be fixed, the landowner had a good idea of putting some telephone poles, burying them down in the bottom, to have a footer. You could build stone up from there, or you could dig a footer with riprap, get it angled up. But if you did that, about either way, you need a slurry mix on it. And then you could make the crossing itself wider if that happened. But I don't know the exact answer on exactly how to fix it right now.
Why is this being bought now? Did it change hands? The land change hands?
Yeah, they bought it.
How long ago?
I don't know.
We purchased it, I believe, in August, but we didn't move here from North Carolina until May 1st.
So you bought it knowing what the problem is?
We had seen it when we bought it. I don't think we realized, the one edge wasn't as damaged as it is now. So we didn't realize the extent of it.
I'm gonna say what I think. It's a private crossing, we don't put private crossings in. And they bought it knowing where they were located, so.
Does the tile need lengthened or what?
It ain't private property, it's a county.
The what?
The bridge itself, or whatever we call that, we're kind of learning the terminology as we go, is not owned by us. Our property begins north of the crossing. Our understanding is that the town owns the beginning of Camberlin Lane, the county owns the crossing, and then our property begins after the crossing. And that's
They don't
why we
own the
bought it.
cross.
Yeah, but the county just has the right of easement on the ditch. The county itself, now, if David White was in his jurisdiction, now, the plat map actually shows the property line coming down on the other side. I remember you said you had a post and you thought your property stopped. It's showing it going down to here on the other side of the county ditch, right here.
Our survey points are north of the ditch, quite a ways.
The county's plat could be wrong, then, because I've seen that post.
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
And it looks like a good metal pipe. I don't know how long it's been there.
It's
But,
thin and skinny through there.
yeah, it's real.
Always have been. Have you had anybody look at it to give you an estimate?
Keith Sullivan excavating, I have an estimate here, if you want that.
I give them some names to check on it, because I feel that's the landowner's responsibility.
Give it to Jim.
The chairman there.
I'm the chairman, and he's Jim.
How much is it?
$4,500 for clear vegetation from culvert area, both sides of the driveway, furnish and install riprap around culvert, east and west sides of drive, resurface drive area over culvert with number 53 stone.
And I was thinking a minimum would be about 3,000 you'd spend on it. And his is what?
4,500.
And that don't include no slurry of concrete. You know, you need a guy standing at the bottom working that in if it's real
So it sounds like the county owns it.
soupy. David says he don't. It's not his road to maintain.
Would it be the town?
They say it's not theirs.
So that means the landowner owns it.
David's like,
But
David's
their
like,
property is on the other side of it,
The property is on the other side.
so it's nobody's.
All we know is if the fire truck had to come up, they wouldn't make it across. They would probably.
So I guess you fix somebody else's property, okay?
Well, we're not,
Dave looked at it and then he gave him my phone number and I showed him the code.
You know,
I don't know what his,
we work on this one, the next time somebody,
well, I have to fix my own.
that's right.
if it's landlocked, that's the only way you can spend money on it. It's landlocked. If it got other access, there's definitely no expenditure.
That's the
It tells-
proverbial loophole that
It tells you on the
lets
back
us
page.
consider this, is it's landlocked.
It's category D, you know, that says.
But they bought it landlocked.
Well, there's no maintenance money out here, right?
Yeah, it'd have to come out of our general drain improvement fund. It'd have to
Yeah.
come out of our general drain improvement fund, which it's built back up now, but I can normally,
That's irrelevant.
I know.
I don't know, who would you get permission to work on it from? I mean, who owns it? It's like me
Technically,
coming
it sounds
over.
like we do.
Huh?
Technically, it sounds like we do.
I mean,
No, I think that'd be a court fight who actually owns it.
Okay.
What access, how long has that access been there to that property?
If David,
At least 63 years that I know of.
city,
if David
county,
doesn't maintain that road, then nobody's maintaining that road if the town's not claiming it.
city, county, and private landowners are not claiming it, so
I don't know if he runs the snowplow back a little ways or not.
I doubt it.
I'd say from the drainage board, we give them permission. I don't know if we can do that. We don't
Permission to
know.
fix it?
yeah, but
Huh?
that's our easement for the creek, right?
Right.
So at the very least, we have to give somebody permission to work on it.
They'd be working in our easement on a
Yeah.
private crossing.
Yeah. But that's what I'd say is, somehow we get them permission to work on the thing.
That brings a point. I know, and you know where Grant Church is at, south and west of Fairmount. And there's a property there that people bought, and they got, I don't know what ditch it is, and the fire truck won't go across it because it's not heavy enough. So if we pay for this one,
Then
we got another one to be probably brought up.
Well, we got one over on 37 here 2 or 3 years ago that we wouldn't participate in, so,
Which one was that?
well,
Mr.
you
Wright?
know what I'm
Mr.
talking about,
Wright.
to get in the
Mr.
field.
Wright?
He has access from the
Yeah, he
state road.
has access.
So we're,
Just a question, if you dial 911 and ask for a policeman, who comes?
We have no idea.
Be the city,
Because if it's the city, I still think it's city access.
they said no. Everybody passing the buck.
They said they
Yeah.
own partway up Cambridge, but not all of the way.
And then one of the guys on the fire department said they wouldn't take the truck across.
They wouldn't.
They wasn't what?
They wouldn't even take a fire truck across it.
So technically, I bet they aren't in the city limits.
What I
Town
would,
limits.
I mean, it sounds like we're postponing, but what I would do is I would let me, the chairman, speak to our attorney and say, everybody's saying this isn't theirs. How do we determine whose it is?
and you can
that-
talk to David too.
That'd give me 2 weeks to get our attorney to say, by default, the state would say it belongs to this group, whether it's private owner, city, county,
And then we still come back to drainage board,
and.
whether they wanted to
But
finance it or not.
yeah, well, but I don't want to say no, and then our attorney go, well, yeah, you've got a legal responsibility, so we need to let the attorney help us answer this question. And that'll be 2 more weeks, if that's all right with y'all.
That's fine.
Did I say that pretty well, y'all?
Could you get across the well?
Get it fixed, mate.
With the vehicle, it's no problem, it's just narrow.
It's August 27th.
If you have snow and ice, it's gonna be iffy, you know, you can't.
So what part of North Carolina did y'all come from?
Go put a guardrail on each side.
40 miles from Charlotte.
40 miles from where?
From Charlotte.
Oh, from Charlotte, okay. I used to live in Kings Mountain. Yeah, over in Shelby County.
Not really safe.
Excuse me, Cleveland County.
I'm originally from Huntington though, but that was a long time ago.
All righty, well,
Better give them their,
welcome back to Grant County. But we will get that information for you, and I'll have you hold on to your quote, if that's all right. I will put that on my list to discuss with Kyle, and we'll have some type of an answer next
I'll put it on the agenda.
meeting. Okay.
But we have to worry. If he could do it himself, the paperwork will be just.
Yeah.
We can give it, well, I guess we can.
But you
get
don't know whose
permission.
ground it's on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the ditch is, yeah, ditch is somebody owns a ditch.
Yeah, somewhere recorded somewhere is either that it's private or that it belongs to the city or it belongs to the county, and we just need to do a little research. Once we know what that is, we can go from there. All righty?
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
We'll see y'all here in a couple weeks. Okay, Crane Pond, Laura Marshall. You said we weren't gonna hear from her today?
She was supposed to be here today, you know, she had to take off work, she didn't like the time that we have the meetings, you know, because she has to take off work, but it's on the agenda, there's the pictures. Now, the stone that's in the bottom doesn't come from her work, it looked like it trickled out of the bank after we dredged the job. I talked to Andy Rickner,
Is this that fireplace?
the fire pit.
Yeah.
And the stone for it. She stopped her contractor because he was gonna be finishing it Monday. But
Is it
Mary,
in our right of way? Right?
it's right up against the ditch, yeah.
Oh.
Who's the contractor?
I don't know who she's having install
Where's this at?
it. This is
Titan
in,
Hunter Road, which is part of
that's Crane Pond that Wendell
Okay.
manages. There's a house there now. We left a little clump of trees here and worked on each side. There's the ditch bank right there. So our 40 feet went about 10 feet over on the other side. Now, I talked to Andy, he's gonna come and, our new grass is growing in the bottom here, but none of this matches her work. You know, Wendell had a concern. It all looked like it just kind of fell out of the bank after we dredged. So there you can see the rock had been on this curve apparently. But see, it's gonna be tight. Now, she's gonna keep it all mowed, so I thought sign a hold harmless agreement. If we've got to track over with the mower, Wendell
How
likes,
does Wendell get by to mow on the other side of it?
he keeps it sprayed. Well, there's about 10 feet of easement right here. So you either tracking across this part or he's gonna track across this part right here. But it's quite extensive on,
But she recognizes she's in the easement.
yeah.
Okay.
that she claims she didn't know about.
Yeah, but previously we talked about, we left those trees for her, you know, so there is an easement there. It's on the flat, 40 feet is what we're trying to work, keep open.
That's the problem. Left trees and because, yeah.
Well,
So what do we got to do for
yeah,
this?
afternoon.
Well, we could, if she would agree with this, she
Okay.
could sign the whole harmless agreement. If we gotta track over it, we track over it. Otherwise, she'd have to move it.
After what?
Yeah, I want
Move it.
hearing aid fixed.
I hate to have her make
Yeah,
her
I
move
want
it,
hearing aid fixed.
no more than it is. I mean, she's gonna keep the area mowed, so when Wendell comes back, even with the mower, he's gotta mow back farther.
But can you get around it?
He can drive right around it with the mower. And he
Big
sprays,
tractor, with
he,
big tractor?
well, you might have to run over a little bit of the edge.
You know, tear it up and
Well, she might have
be
to,
mad at him.
If she signs the hold
I know.
harmless, then
and then most you'd have to do is take some sand and replace the brick a little bit if it bobbles. Better than moving the whole thing.
and we're not gonna reduce,
The, no
Easement either.
No easement.
No, we're not
reduction.
gonna reduce any easement.
And, you know, Mary's done this before a couple of times, but if there's any new owners,
That swimming pool just up the road from them.
and Wendell heard that somebody else wants to put a pool in, I don't know, but why don't Mary send him a copy of the Indiana code about what not to put, remind him it's a 40-foot easement, here's what you're not supposed to put in, anything permanent without the drainage board's written consent.
We fought
Mary
that
can
off
send him a
on the
nice
other one,
letter and
and we lost.
I'll identify the properties for you.
Did they win that one?
You know, we ended up spending a lot more money on that because they jacked with the easement, getting Andy to go out there, and then he went out there and cleaned that out and had to haul it out.
Right, rather than spread it.
Yeah,
If you spread it and grass seed, it was gonna cost a lot more landscaping than just to move it. We put it back in Casel's field where it came from, all the sediment.
yeah. Did y'all look at this easement hold harmless upstairs? Well, do you wanna
Just
extend that
table it.
offer to her, or do you?
Yeah,
wanna just
offer it
wait?
to her.
Okay,
We'll offer it to her, but we won't sign it until she's ready to
Right.
put the dotted line.
well,
Will that be on the next agenda?
could be.
Yes, I would carry it over.
If it's important to her, she will.
She'll
get
show
there
up,
sometime.
that's right.
If she doesn't, she's not the point.
All right, Simon's Tile, plan to put in a new outlet.
Joe's been out and looked at this, and it's my understanding, I knew the ditch could be dug out around to the next county road, and you could get some more footage, but instead of going 500 feet the way I understood, he can only go 100, he can go 150 feet north of Wheeling Pike and get a good outlet, so we can spend that money on the tile that we was gonna spend on the north side and replace more tile on the south side. I just wanted the board to be aware of what he discovered. So instead of going 500 feet down an open drain and getting a better outlet where you got more fall, by digging that out, he can back that up and only go 150 feet north of Wheeling. Is that right?
That's right.
And you're in favor of it? That'll make the money go farther to the south?
Yeah.
I just wanted the board to know that the plan kind of changed, so we know what's going on out there. Raymond has a meeting with the highway department soon, with Joe and the highway department to look at it.
The money's there,
Yep.
right? You
We're
got,
spending approximately 100,000.
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
we got the money to,
kidding,
yeah.
okay.
There you go.
We're going as far as we can.
Right.
I make a motion that we let them do it.
Second.
Motion to adjust those plans as presented. With support, that was Gordon and Richard.
Yep.
Any more discussion?
And you're satisfied, happy with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, okay.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
All right,
Aye, it's carried. And Spurgeon Tile. What we got going?
Name's Bert Wordle. Wanting to work on the Spurgeon Drain, which is in Liberty Township, 800 south, in between 400 and 500 west, going into Grassy Ford. I have been working on this for a while. I've spoke with Mary and Jim and Raymond on this numerous different times. I've got the watershed map, and I've got who owns, or how many acres of what parcels going into this. We've got 500.
Do you have a new assessment roll,
just
Mary?
over
Just
the
produced
Point
one?
Isabel, south of Point, or
If you need,
The
Closer to
north of
Rickman.
Hackelman,
It's that farm that I tell you is gonna sell next week.
Huh?
It's in,
Down there
Yes,
where
I
it's
have,
sold,
I don't know, I have that, I don't know.
it's the,
Okay.
where it goes. It's, that farm will go into.
well, he held that up there.
Yeah, it's needed it for years. It's only like $1.75 an acre. It only brings in about $800 a year. Currently, there's $2,955.04 that the board could release towards this project.
What are you gonna do for money?
Well, I got everybody, willing to pay for it. So I've been around talking to all the landowners. I was looking forward to having a few more of them sitting here today, but they couldn't make it. But anyways, what it all boils down to is it's a 20-inch clay tile, and this is the one that Gary Odell had concern on too, a couple of years back. And, you got a 20-inch clay tile that's 70% full of dirt, across Kurt Hall. It's just, and so we've got 500 acres trying to move through 30% of a 20-inch tile, and that doesn't work very well. So I'm not wanting to, I'm gonna replace 4,000 foot of it. We're not gonna replace the entire length of it, which I think that would double the project or whatnot. But anyways, wanting to get things going, start collecting money. I've got my price per acre, so on and so forth. Put it in with the wheel machine, so.
So you guys are just gonna do it privately?
How big you gonna put in?
24, gonna go from a 20 to a 24.
You can wheel 24
Yeah, yeah, so.
Where's that water flow? Is it flowing south?
To Grassy Fork.
Yes, it's flowing south,
Okay.
southwest, if you will, into Grassy Fork.
Okay.
We are gonna be able to lower our outlet, as Grassy Fork's been dipped and better maintenance, so. We'll gain some cover, we'll gain some volume on pipe size. Gonna end up splicing into 15 clay, 15-inch clay, where it's still in fairly good condition. And we'll get on the other side of all that mud so water can flow. So, I don't know, like I say, what else I need to present to you, but that's the gist of it. So I do have one hiccup in this. I was wanting to be further along on this by this time of the year. There is, I don't know that it's relevant. I don't know how relevant it is. It's absolutely relevant, but the Rush Memorial Hospital farm has 35 acres going into this, which is just west of me. That farm sells August 19th. So prior to that, I had money lined up, but since it's gonna sell, they backed down. So I've gotta wait till August 19th, and then find out whoever buys it, and then I need to get their commitment or their agreement.
There's a good chance they will.
And I believe there's a strong chance, yes. So,
There's a couple good farmers out there that might be interested in it.
yes. So,
They may not have any money left when the sale's over.
that could be true. But their 35 acres of tile is gonna be $8,600. And so I bet an acre of that brings more than $8,600, but that's irrelevant. But, so that's where we're at. I'd like I say, I wanna start collecting money. Mary has said that, she would account for it all for me. We're gonna put a Spurgeon tile in the memo, the check memo, and she was gonna take it to the treasurer's office and make sure that it was,
Can we do that?
appropriate.
Yeah, I did it for Wendell, then the bills will come to me and I pay them.
Yeah, they can gift the money to this
Good.
fund.
But the check has to be payable to Grant County Treasurer.
Correct. Grant County treasurers with Spurgeon tile on
And then the name of the ditch and the memo.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get the money before you start the project, don't come nuts.
But that's where we are. We've got all of our yeses and our nos. There's 522 acres in this shed. There's gonna be, there's tremendous interest in getting it done. I've got 2 houses or 10 acres that don't want to participate, if you can believe that. Outside of that, everybody else is on board.
If you have a list of who's paying what,
Mhm.
if I have a copy of that, I'll put it in the file for that.
Okay.
Everything be
I'll
documented.
get you that list, and so.
And, you know, for the two houses that's not participating, there is $2,955 if we need it.
And we are, I think we're $246 an acre, so that would be $2,500 roughly. So that is there, so if not, that bump the cost up $4.80 an acre for everybody else. So
When you doing this fall?
I'd like to get on it soon. I've got, if this farm wasn't for sale, I would have liked to have been in it already. I do have permission to go through crop on this deal, so.
So the worst case scenario, if this farm sells and then God
They
doesn't
don't want to
participate,
participate. Now I've got to distribute that money back over everybody else, and I've got to get them to agree upon it.
you think that'll be a problem?
I don't think it'll be a deal breaker now. I don't think it'll shut the project down. No.
That's what I wondered.
I hope not. But, you know, there's never say never.
Yeah, I know.
So, but I know there's been plenty of hurdles getting everybody on the same page. What am I gonna benefit from this, so on and so forth, so. But gotten this far, so.
So you got the gist of the desire to work on the Spurgeon tile?
Yep.
And access the $2,900 if need be, is that correct?
Yes.
He'll keep me posted.
Yep.
We'll need a motion.
Yep.
I reckon I'll make a motion, but I want him to understand if he don't come up with enough money, that's his problem.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I think that can be reflected in the motion. We have a motion from Kenny. Is there support for that?
Second.
Go ahead.
Thank
Are
you.
you got any planned in that?
I'm not in the Spurgeon, I'm on Grassy Fork, but I'm
Okay.
not in the Spurgeon.
Okay.
But we're not talking like Grassy Fork.
All right, we'll go ahead and have Richard have that second.
Yeah.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor would say aye.
Aye.
Aye, it is carried unanimously. All
Go
right,
get her.
other business.
One thing, Mick Roush did get back with us on the Morarty McMahon, and they're requesting, Mary's got it figured up here.
This is current, and that's the
Okay, they're requesting an 8-year instead of a 4-year ditch tax at $10 an acre. It's currently $5. With a $100 home site, it's currently $50. And what's the minimum?
25, but it's 10 right now, I think.
Okay, and a $25 minimum. And, you know, Mary's asking for a hearing date. What was your hearing date notice you sent, shooting for? Either October 8th or October 29th. You guys can look at your calendar if you want to schedule a day. She get the notices out for a public hearing to raise the maintenance.
You have a preference, gentlemen?
How many parcels are involved is this roughly? You know, I don't really know.
Yeah.
62, so you gotta add these numbers. They're right around 110, maybe.
How many farmers?
You
Roughly.
can hand that down to them.
I mean, I don't know the farmers and maybe,
Acreage.
I guess it's like, if it's important, you'll be here, and if it's not, you won't, and we'll make the decision, right?
31 acres, 8330. If you wanna see, here's the amount.
Yeah, we don't have a total.
I'll just
It's pretty
say
much
what I always say. If it's
recommending
important,
double.
Okay, it's 882 acres.
No.
882 acres of farm ground.
882 acres.
38 home sites.
Oh, which one's up?
Morarty McMahon
Yeah.
for Mick Roush and Ed Blinn. So it's gonna go from bringing in 6,366 to 12,774, and that's still not enough money to do it all. That would get them through to the Second County Road, I think. And then that money collect for a couple years, and then they do the rest. That's the plan.
It'll never shut off.
What did?
Yeah, he wants it on 8 years.
4 years.
8 years, so it'll never shut off. That way they can keep it up once the money accumulates after a while.
Just a suggestion from the chair, if we could move it toward the end of October, do the 29th, That would help my schedule.
That's fine, that'd be good.
Yeah.
Do you need it into November? Because I can do that too.
No, I have, Sharon has another procedure scheduled in September, and the farther
Okay.
away from that I can make it, I think October 29th will be good. So technically, we could go ahead and we could make a motion to have a public hearing and advertise those items today.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion, that's the Moriarty, McMahon? Motion to have a public hearing for the Moriarty, McMahon, with the new $10 an acre, $100 a home site, $25 minimum with an 8-year shut-off. And we'll do that on October the 29th. Does that cover everything? And I think I heard Richard make the motion and
Yep.
Gordon second. Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, it is carried. Anything else?
Nope.
Well, she didn't say it was a Johnson day, but
Johnson motion.
we,
Adjourned.
Kenny has made the Johnson motion to adjourn. Gordon second.
I
All
did
those,
not jinx it, did I?
all in favor, say aye. Thank you, folks.
No, I need that.
Right there.